Mr. Speaker, I have so many things to say in such a short time. I don't know even what I'm going to do. But I'll be very quick. I limit the time out of respect to the House and the need that the reasons I presented. Mr. Speaker, if you take away from the Senate the powers to invite and to summon witnesses, then this becomes a gathering of elders who cannot do anything. Mr. Speaker, it is a right that we should be willing to die for. And that is why, despite all the conversations that we've had with people trying to coerce and talk to us very nicely, saying, come, let us reason together, I have made it abundantly clear to none other than the chair of COG, my good friend Governor Ahmed, that I believe it, just the same way I'm so certain about who I am and what my name is, that we can never negotiate the moral duty of governors appearing before the Senate to answer for resources that has been given unto them. And the first day I disagreed in principle is when they went to Kilifi, Mr. Speaker, and arrogated themselves powers to choose which committee they can appear and which one they cannot. That one, Mr. Speaker, I am willing to go to the grave over that. And so long as that remains to be an issue between us and the Council of Governors, my position on this matter is very clear, Mr. Speaker. I saw COG today trying to address us through press conference. The law remains the law, Mr. Speaker. I suggested, and I want to congratulate the Public Accounts Committee, that any governor who has chosen not to appear before this committee, it simply means that there is an admission of guilt on their part on the charges and the findings that have been made by the Auditor General, Mr. Speaker. I have argued many times in this House, Mr. Speaker, that even our Public Accounts Committee is, Mr. Speaker, has arranged just a tip of the iceberg in terms of finding out the rot that exists in our county governments. Because as a county senator, Mr. Speaker, you are far more aware of the challenges that exist in your own county government than your colleagues, Mr. Speaker. But that's a discussion for another day. As we are here today, Mr. Speaker, we are discussing a very important matter. That there are 16 men and women of conscience who chose to appear and submit themselves to the authority of the law. We commend those governors, Mr. Speaker, and appreciate them for being responsible citizens and adults. To the 29, Mr. Speaker, and therefore we need to go to the stomachs of the lions to find out where the money went to, Mr. Speaker. Then you can understand why somebody does not want to appear before Public Accounts Committee. Mr. Speaker, it will be a dereliction of duty of us as the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, if we let these 29 governors go scot-free. Mr. Speaker, there are certain decisions that we must make as a House. Number one, Mr. Speaker, I expect that out of the lesson that we have learned during this debacle between us and the Council of Governors, Mr. Speaker, we must amend the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, Mr. Speaker. 500,000 for people who are disappearing with 2 billion or 3 billion of unaccounted funds, Mr. Speaker, is a slap on the wrist, Mr. Speaker. That fine needs to be elevated, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we must give additional powers, Mr. Speaker, to our parliamentary committees over and above, Mr. Speaker, just summoning and issuing the summons that they have given, Mr. Speaker. They must be able to pass certain decisions that have the equal powers, Mr. Speaker, that a court of law has when a witness fails to appear in a case that is before them. The third and the final thing, Mr. Speaker, that we must do is that we must not remove our leg off the gas pedal, Mr. Speaker, on this highway of accountability. We must be firm about it. When you are a senator like myself and your county has an adverse opinion, what do I tell the residents of Kericho? Some of us don't believe in doing oversight in funerals. That's why I was waiting for my governor at the Public Accounts Committee to come and ask him, Dr. Eric Mutai, what happened in the year 2024-2025. An adverse opinion, Mr. Speaker, means that your books were so bad, they could not even explain where you took the money, Mr. Speaker. Now I don't have that particular opinion. By his failure to appear before Public Accounts Committee, it simply means that he has agreed with the auditors that the books are so bad, Mr. Speaker, that he has no explanation. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, we must follow through with the recommendations of Public Accounts Committee so that we recover the monies that have been lost in each and every of our 47 devolved units, Mr. Speaker, because that is our work.
Unfortunately, Senator Cheruiyot, your time is up.